Alright, what's going on, guys? So, behind me, I have a 1948 to 1952 TEA20 made by Ferguson. This was before Massey and Ferguson were even a thing, so it is just a fergy. It is a TEA20, 20 being the amount of horsepower it's got. Now that is a low number. You can get more horsepower out of a Briggs & Stratton strapped to a lawnmower these days. However, 20 horsepower with the right gearing is fully effective, and this thing, they go really well. Now, they've survived awesomely. I mean, this thing is 70 years old, and it looks better than some tractors that are only 20 years old, you know. This thing came to me, it is a family member's. I was given it to get running. Now when I first got this thing, it wasn't running at all it was doing was cranking over. There was no spark, no nothing. So what I've done is I've replaced the HT leads, the coil, the distributor, the rotor, the points, all four plugs, all four spark plug leads, the coil lead, put another carburetor on there, and she's running like a Swiss watch now. Now, to start this old girl, it has to be in neutral because you have to use the gear lever to start it. To start it, you're basically putting it in what would be 5th gear on a normal gear selection. However, on these old things, that's how you start them. Hopefully it starts. So the next plan of attack is to strip it down, take the hood off, remove all the ignition system off it, the carburetor, and I gave it a water blast last night. I got some Fergie grey coming, and we're going to make this thing look like it did back in 1948 or 52. I'm a bit weary on when this thing came out. So it'll look like a Swiss watch. It'll run just as good. Let's do one of those time-lapse things. So after siphoning the gas tank and getting fucked up off the fumes, I began to think of the impact this little grey tractor has had on the world. Being released shortly after World War II and making its way into every part of the world, this thing has been put to every use one could think of over its 70 years lifespan. They flocked in the masses. I mean, I can drive 30 minutes from my house and see at least 4 of them parked up in paddocks, and that's not counting the one in my driveway and the one on this film at this moment. I can't think of a single other vehicle or other combustion powered machine that has survived so well for so long and in such great numbers. Alright, well that's where we're going to leave it for tonight. I've got work tomorrow and it's about 9 o'clock at night, so I've got most of the ignition side off, got the intake, carby manifold, exhaust manifold off, the exhaust off that used to run along down under there. So it's going to be a pretty rough and ready paint job. Like, I mean, this is probably the extent of the prep work on the block that I'm going to do before I paint it, because it's a tractor, and how far do you go when you're prepping a tractor, you know? And if I start, you know, where do you stop? So it's going to be a nightmare trying to sand all in there. And so I've water blasted it, I've got off all the loose flaky stuff, and we'll just do a reasonably decent job on the hood and the fuel tank, which is sitting over there. So that's just a quick video showing you what we're up to for the next week. Hopefully this is going to be a pretty quick in and out, done, looking pretty mean, and we'll be painting it by this weekend at the latest. So stay tuned for the next vid, and if you're still here and not from around here, click subscribe and we'll see you there.